Hey guys, Dinka Rubles here with a state of the project update on the Pelikan. First of all, pretend the rest of the gun's there. The whole thing's too big to fit on an Ender 3 build volume, so it has to have a split frame. And I don't have the back of this current model printed yet, so just, use your imagination. I will have a solid frame version for people with bigger print volumes at release, CR10s, that sort of thing. But for most of us, we're probably going to have to split it. With this current iteration, things I'm excited about, printed rails. The original design had send cut send rails just because of durability reasons, and there's a lot less friction when it's metal on metal versus metal on plastic. But after looking at these, they seem pretty sturdy. We'll see how they go when we get to the, actually test firing phase. But for right now, pretty happy with it. And the recoil spring is obviously, or the return spring, is obviously enough to bring the slide home. So I think that's going to be a viable solution. I'm trying to keep the number of aftermarket purchasable parts down, keep it as DIY as I can. Unfortunately, that said, there are a couple parts that we're just going to have to buy for this. The barrel rotates into lugs that are in the frame, and I just don't trust PLA to not explode and send your barrel down range or blow up in your hands. So we are going to have a manufactured locking block and feed ramp combo. I'm also looking into just doing locking blocks because they're a lot easier to manufacture. But having printed the feed ramps on this one, I don't think that's going to work out because they came out messy. Metal is what I was anticipating, probably aluminum, maybe steel, but I'm working with MAF, and Control Pew had this really awesome idea to try sintered SLS nylon. So when we get to the shooting phase, we're going to try this, see if they're durable enough, because if they are, these are cheap, and they're easy for him to manufacture, which means they're cheaper for you. And I'm trying to keep costs down on this thing. Since we already have a manufactured part, unfortunately, a second manufactured part that we're going to have is a firing pin. Because being as this is an open bolt fixed firing pin gun, we got to get rid of that fixed firing pin. And there's just no existing firing pin currently on the market that will work for this. I tried AR-15, AK-47, Glock, Remington 700. I tried a ton of different firing pins, and nothing is compatible with this. So we had to go with a custom solution. It's going to have to be metal. Since we already have to buy this, we'll just buy that too, and we'll make it a part kit. You can get all your screws and nuts and bolts all in one go. But that's been figured out. I've got the internals, the guts figured out for that conversion, and all of the jigs and pieces that you need to make it just dead nut simple to cut out the pieces inside the slide that you're going to have to cut out to modify this thing. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the most beginner-friendly project, but it shouldn't be too terribly intense. Something else that I'm looking into, haven't really gotten very far on yet. So the original PM63, this was the grip, right? Well, I included it in this design just for, a design aesthetic and to bring some more of these parts kit pieces into the final project. But what's neat about it is it's got these channels here where the original stock would have ridden so you could fold it away. Well, I was going to have just a pick rail on the back of the end piece, and you could put a folding brace or whatever you want. Don't put a stock on it. Barrel's too short. But a lot of guys in the community I've seen are working on collapsing stocks and braces using send cut send parts. So maybe that's something we could integrate into this design. I haven't really looked into it at all yet, but something to think about because those channels are there anyway, so might as well put them to use, right? Plus, having a collapsing brace on this thing would be kind of neat. You just pull it out and be ready to rock and roll. I don't know. I like that idea. But a couple more things to tweak, a couple more things to innovate on. However, it's coming along, and I'm really excited. I hope you guys are excited about it too. And keep an eye on my page for further updates.